Greetings, ladies and gentle readers. I'm Dwyron, and I've been reading for a very, 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 very long time. And I've never been very secretive of the fact that I've been reading for a very, 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 very long time. I've been reading all the way back many a century ago, back when I was in middle school, elementary school, somewhere around there, and yeah, just kind of kept at it over the years. As a result, people tend to come to me kind of wanting recommendations as to what to read. So I thought I would compile my list of top fantasy. Though when I say my list, it's also kind of your list, actually. Because I went to, in the making of this list, I grabbed recommendations off of like some Reddit posts that the community voted on, Times list top, whatever, Goodreads, and I kind of like looked for the names that kind of pop up here every once in a while, the repeated ones. I'm like, all right, take them, put them in a list. That's what you're looking at here, with a couple of my recommends actually thrown in. I'm not entirely, completely nonpartisan in this one, but mostly. But that raises the question, how do you decide between single books and multiple books, and if we're doing fantasy, or are we doing modern fantasy or science fiction fantasy or like the medieval fantasy, or like what are we doing there? Obviously, if we were doing all of them, this thing would have a few more zeros at the end of it. So I tried to keep it more of like the medieval-ish kind of setting of fantasy, not the modern for the most part. And the entire series will be represented by the first novel. So case in point, let's look at, say, The Wheel of Time. As you can see right up above me. Yep, Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan, many people know it, and that's not always a good thing. Is it a great fantasy series? Yeah, overall you have to, I think you gotta give it to him. A lot of authors have been inspired by The Wheel of Time, as Robert Jordan himself was inspired by other writers in turn. It's sweeping saga, 14, 15 books? I don't remember how many books it is. It's huge. Each book is like 1,000 pages long. Sadly, he didn't have a chance to finish it. He died before the end, and another author had to take it up. But it did. It did in fact finish. Only problem is, a lot of the books in the middle, you can kind of tell new readers not to even read. You can tell them to skip over it. Be like, yeah, you can go up to here and then maybe read the footnotes on, this book and this book and this book, and then maybe pick it up again over here, because it doesn't really change the ending any. You see, The Wheel of Time is supposed to be a sweeping saga where a couple of farm boys, this is going to sound familiar, where a couple of farm boys realize that a great evil has kind of picked them for bad things. So they have to quickly leave their home before it's destroyed, and, everything goes bad there, and find out what the big evil's all about. Sounds familiar, I know. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger with every book. There's more characters added until you don't even remember all of them, but they've got points of view. And somewhere around book 8, 9, 10-ish, I would assume, somewhere in that number, it just gets too unwieldy, and you can pretty much kind of not even have to read them. As a result, though it is a great series, inspired by many, I can't give it an A. Or I can't give it an S, sorry. Actually, no, I don't think I can give it an A either. Because, if you skip over the books, we have to be able to take off for that, right? Surely, when you're looking at the best of the best of the best as fantasy, you can't give it to someone whose books you don't even have to read. B? If it's the best of the best, are we gonna give it a B? Oh god, am I gonna give it a C? There's thousands of pages that you can just skip. And there's an insane amount of detail in the novels that a lot of people just kind of fall asleep at. No, nope. I refuse to give it a D. I think Eye of the World, book 1, is probably somewhere in the A tier. But the series does kind of go downhill. I'm going to leave it at a C for now and see if it stays there by the end of by the end of the listing. Now let's compare that, shall we? Good old Battle Mage. I'm giving that right away an S. Why am I giving it an S? What is this book? Have you even heard of, what is this, Peter A. Flannery's Battle Mage? Probably haven't, and you can be forgiven for not ever coming across it. It's a single book, not a series. As far as I can tell, it's not a series, it's a standalone. It's not the deepest novel in the history of ever. Doesn't have the most political intrigue or the hugest, most epic sweeping battles. But it doesn't try to either. It's a nice evening read, or weekend, depending on, your reading speed, where you've got characters, they do things, it's wrapped up. It doesn't get wordy, it doesn't get meandering, you don't get lost in a bunch of different POVs that are just like, well, I don't care about this character, I hope they die. Yeah, it's just an entertaining novel from start to finish, doesn't try to be more than it is, and you can't help but recognize and admire that fact in a genre that is cluttered by a lot of books just going way out to the middle of nowhere and just getting lost in themselves like the good old Wheel of Time over there. So yeah, if you haven't heard about Battle Mage, it's not a bad one. If you like the genre, you might want to pick it up. As you can tell by the cover, and yeah, you can totally judge a book by its cover, you can expect knights, you can expect dragons, you can expect fighting. What more do you want? Which brings us back to the start of our list and Game of Thrones. I really wished that you would have appeared lower in the list. Okay, this is gonna hurt. So right away, Game of Thrones by the George R. Martin. I want to give it an S. I immediately want to give it an S to just avoid people, writing evil comments about this. I want to give it an S. But here's the thing. Without spoilers, I'm not going to give any spoilers throughout this entire list. The rereadability of this series is kind of lacking because he has a lot of characters that he kills off that don't have a meaningful impact in the story. So once again, you could tell people, yeah, this character, don't bother reading them because they don't matter. And sometimes that's a good chunk of the book that you can just skip over. If I'm taking points off of Eye of the World for having like pages and pages that you can skip over because it doesn't matter, I've got to do the same thing with Game of Thrones. Alone, book one, I'd give it an S. Hands down, give it an S. There's characters that drop in it, but you still care about them. They give you reasons to care about them. Problem is, and he tries to like kind of repeat that, and it's like, this guy, I know you're gonna die, and I don't care about you. Yeah, I think for now B. What's next? What do we got next? Good old A Mark of Kings. It's always weird when you've got these like dual authors writing one book. So I kind of like want to know more, like which author had, greater say in here. What are their other works like, to see if you can kind of catch glimpses of this in their other thing. It's very weird. It's very weird. Mark of Kings, I gotta say, I've got a little bit of a soft spot for because, without giving away too much, the main character quickly realizes that there's another character that's kind of been looking over him for a while, and I thought their relationship was a little bit cute. It's a little tropey, evil. He's from an ancient yada yada yada. Very important, learns who he is with the other guy with him. That I can't say more about that. But I did find myself laughing at some of this. It is a little tropey. Maybe Mark of Kings goes into a B tier. I didn't find myself skipping over anything though. It's got 2 books out right now. It's not finished. And that's another one. Did I confine myself to only the books whose series were finished? No, I didn't. That would be a very, very short list. So yeah, some of these are ongoing. This is one of them. I think right now I'm going to give it a B and see what goes into the A tier. And I think I might be moving it later. Alloy of Law. Okay, here I'm cheating. Some of you may even have been looking at the covers of here and realize how I'm cheating. Because Alloy of Law is actually a Mistborn novel. But here's the weird thing with Brandon Sanderson and his Mistborn series. Because like he has Mistborn, and it's 3 books, same characters, and then we have here with Alloy of Law, and it's a completely different character in a completely different time, but it's in the same world, so it's a different series. You don't have to read the first series. They're completely separate, only it's in the same world, which is why 2 of Sanderson's things in the Mistborn are on here twice. And I think I've got to give Alloy of Law an S. I love the relationship between the 2 characters here. I love the magic system that he's created. The world feels unique. Yeah, it's just a great action adventure series that's completely well written. The characters, I mean, you're going to love them or hate them, but I'm not skipping through anything. I'm entertained throughout. I always wanted to read the next book. I always wanted to reread the books at some point. That's another one. If I don't want to reread the book, that's going to be taking some serious points off of. And yeah, I loved it. In fact, let's go ahead and cheat a little bit here. I loved it more than the first book in the Mistborn, which is Mistborn. I loved Alloy of Law and the books that are around that character way more than I liked Mistborn. In this one, it felt, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. Book fun felt a little bit weird. I didn't like how it ended because it felt like something was repeating a little bit for me. So I'm kind of giving it a B. If you like Alloy of Law, I think you'll like Mistborn. But I think if you like Mistborn, there's no guarantee you're gonna like Alloy of Law. I think is the best way that I can describe that. There's just like more action adventure and this where is this plot going next in Alloy of Law than there was in Mistborn, in my opinion. So yeah, you know what? I'll give this an A. I'll give it an A. Mistborn will be an A, but Alloy of Law is clearly an S. And that brings us to Ascendant. Oh god, that hurts. Okay, I put this list together way before I read the next book in this one. Oh man, Ascendant. Oh dear, I would S. I would S it immediately and be like, all right, S, done. I'm out. Cool. Glad we had this talk. But book 2, I would give a D. Oh god, what's the average? I want to give it a B. So the thing is, Ascendant, as you can see in the title, is fascinating. I like the idea that it's about this dragon who was scheduled for termination. It's like, nope, it's defective. Sorry. Screw it. Kill it. And as you can see, the cover gives it away. It's blind. And the main character is just like, I want to take care of this thing. Screw all y'all. I ain't killing this thing. No. We're raising it. And that's cool. And like his interaction with society, because he's doing something that's like horrifyingly illegal, is cool. And I wanted to know where it was going to go next. And then book 2 is so stupid. Like, it literally has the wandering around in the forest scene in a circle. And it's just like, oh god, where did the person that wrote book 1 go? Where did they go? Please tell me, where did they go? Oh shoot. Oh god, I'm giving it a C. I think book 2 is just so disappointing that it's gonna be a C. Which I'm sorry, Ascendant. I loved book 1. I reread it, I enjoyed it, but oh god, did I hate book 2. Robin Hobbs up next. Okay. Robin Hobbs, Assassin's Apprentice. Now this is a tough one. Oh man. This is an interesting trilogy. Fantasy as it ought to be written, so says George R. R. Martin. I mean, it's so... What can I say about this without giving too much away? Very rarely is a book written where you know the crux of the plot is not on the shoulders of the main character. Kind of a side character, you know? He's kind of in the background, kind of in the shadows. You got the kings and queens and what have you, like in the forefront trying to figure out what's going on. And he's kind of in the background assisting him whether he likes it or not, for the most part. And there's very memorable characters. The Fool, oh my god. Is there a more iconic character? The only problem with Assassin's Apprentice is I think it's very polarizing. I think you're going to love it, or you are going to want to set this book on fire, and you're just not going to get into it at all. Which, honestly, those kind of make for some of the best books. Because that means whatever they're leaning into hard. I think I'm going to give it an A. It is a little slow in some places. I think it's at least an A. Wow, so far we've got a nice little even streak here, huh? 2-2-2. Nothing in the D category yet. Though I can tell you already it's coming. All right, Brent Week's Black Prism. That is one that was on a lot of lists. Oh, let's see. I do remember reading it a while back. Right, the guy and his son. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. An interesting magic system, no doubt. But I remember, let's see, was it book 2? No, not book 3. Book 2, or not book 2, book 3. Yeah, book 3. Yeah, The Broken Eye. I remember that one kind of struggled to hold my attention. It's a longer series, obviously. 5 books, about 800 pages each, I want to say. Quick look up here. Yeah, 6, 7, 800, somewhere around there. I remember it. I think I liked it. It ended strong. The middle was a little bit weak, though. I thought the middle was a little bit weak. It starts strong. I thought it ended strong. I think book 3-ish was kind of struggling to hold me. So maybe in the C? Or is it in the B? I don't think it's a C. But yeah, definitely Lightbringer. The Lightbringer series from good old Brent Weeks was pretty strong. If you're not into it, though, I can see why. And that brings us to Bloodsong. Ooh, Bloodsong. Is that what I think it is? The Anthony Ryan one, the Raven Shadow. Oh, man. Okay, Raven Shadow. So, first book, I would give an S. First book of it, I would give it an S. Absolutely. There are... Oh, I don't want to give away. I can't. How can I tell you what I don't like about it without a massive spoiler? I can't. If I told you the ending of the series that begins the next series, you'd be like, I hate you for spoiling it. Suffice to say, I did have a problem with the ending. They're definitely rereadable. Absolutely. They got a nice, strong main character that is just, that has a couple of things to overcome because he's given away to some people in the beginning. And then there's like, hey, kiddo, come on back. It's like, no. You gave me away. And I don't owe you anything. But definitely a strong series. All right, so that brings us to Dark Elf Trilogy. Where on earth did I get this from? Yeah, this is the Drizzy series. There's way more than 3 books in here, bro. There's like, yeah, technically this series is still ongoing, like 38, what are we on? Book 38. I confess I have not read them all. But I guess the first 3 do make up a self-contained arc. I guess that's how it's done? Just look at the first 3. I think just the first 3, I might have to give that one an S. I mean, one of the most iconic characters in fantasy of all time is the lovable dark elf, Drizzt Do'Urden, right? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give that one an S. I think I'm just gonna give that an S and move on. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you read, like, I don't know, anything containing an elf and you were like, you know what, maybe they're a bit too nice. Let's listen to maybe some really hard-hitting crazy elves and get into their lore. Like, then this is for you. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I'm giving it an S. Giving it an S, moving it right along. Oh, next up is Tad Williams' Dragonbone chair. Now, this is something I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people don't know about. Again, very, very tough one because it's rarely do we have a book on the side character. And again, this is a side character. I forget what he starts off as. There's a little kid in a castle, if I remember correctly. I might not even have that part correct. This is like a 90s book or something. And then he goes on a journey with people who are getting stuff done. But he has some interesting things happen to him along the way. It's a pretty good read, actually. As long as you remember, this is a guy going along with the stuff that's happening. You know? He's not going to be the strongest warrior or the most powerful mage, or there's, no prophecies of, oh my god, it's you. It's like, no, none of that. And it's just written pretty well. I want to give it into an, some people will find it boring because of that. I found it kind of interesting. I might give it an A. I think it's an A or a B. Yeah, maybe a B. I'm not going any lower than B on that one. The Dragonriders of Pern. I think I want to say this is an early novel, right? Yeah, 1988. It's really tough being critical on books from that far back ago, from like the 80s and 90s, because the writing there was a lot different from some of the more faster paced writing of today's modern era. But okay, what I was about to say is way off. I thought it was in an 80s book, but no. This thing was actually published in 1968. That actually makes a lot of sense. So I do remember there was some weird instances with the female main character, where she's like scared of her kind of like, I think, her male counterparts because of I don't remember it well enough. No, I do, because she got like attacked by them or something. And like she was afraid to like return home because of like, oh my god, this guy is like, meh. So yeah, she's kind of afraid of some of the male main characters in there. Got some of the abuse that she was receiving, huh? I'm not sure where to rate this. Like, it's a book from like 1968, apparently. I'll just leave it as an A. I'll leave it as an A then. My memory of it, I admit, is a little hazy because I read it like long time ago, back when I was like first getting into fantasy. I haven't had an urge to reread it though. Maybe it's a B. I'll keep it as an A. Dragons of Autumn. Oh, okay. This is literally the first set of books that got me into fantasy. I don't care. I'm giving it an S and I'm moving on. The good old Dragonlance. Yeah. Sorry, giving it an S. Moving it on. Without it, I would not be into fantasy at all. And that is a lot of books I never would have read. So this got me into fantasy. I don't care. I'm giving it an S. I do remember it's an older book though. So again, books that are from like before the 90s, before the 80s, back in the 60s, apparently, like the last one, they are gonna read differently. And take it or leave it. You're gonna like it or not. Probably not. Like if you're really into George R. Martin and that's the kind of thing that you're looking to read, you're probably not gonna like the Dragonlance. You probably just won't. Elantris, another Brandon Sanderson novel. Immediately, I'm putting it up to an A because I thought the book was interesting. Like, if I remember the synopsis of this book correctly, it's something I've never encountered before or since, and that is like the magical people, for the most part. I got people like with power or whatever. They were like all stricken bad. And if I remember correctly, their life turns into living hell because of what happened. Not gonna say why or what happens, but it's just like, yeah, if you wanted to be special and, have power, good job, you're screwed. you're gonna go and essentially live in a leper colony for the rest of your life. Have fun with that. Try not to go insane with all the pain. Good luck. Good luck. Like that was amazing. I liked it. I'm giving it an S. One book, self-contained, start to finish, entertaining in a dark kind of way. It gets brighter towards the end, but in a dark kind of way. A couple of Sanderson novels around here you might have noticed. Oof, Eragon's up next. Oh, this one's tough. This one was written by a teenager, and it shows. Like, everyone's all like, oh, Eragon, you need to... Eragon, it's bad. It's not written well. Maybe for a child's first novel, okay, sure. But I mean, a lot of the character interactions just aren't really believable. It's just not, like, it's just not top tier. I want to give it a D. I want to give it a D. I think it's under Eye of the World, and I think it's under... I can't put it above Ascendant. I can't. I think Eragon's the first D tier novel. Sorry. I want to put it higher. But I can't. To be fair, it's still low on the best of all of the fantasy. It is among it. But I can't put it again above like these other hard hitters. It's just Ooh, and that brings us to King's Dark Tidings. Didn't find this one on a lot of different lists. I think I might have found it on one. Let me tell you, the first book is easily S tier. First book is easily S tier. It's interesting. The main character has been put off in, let's say he grew up very, very remote in a very, very unique way. And then he has to interact with people, which he has no context for doing. He has context for like killing things, and that's pretty much it. It's like, yeah, here's how you kill people, and that's how you're going to be raised for your whole life until you go out into the world around you, and then you're like, why aren't all of these people worrying about like everyone else killing everybody? Like they're wide open. Are these people there's something weird with them? Like I could just go and kill them all. Like it's funny in that respect. It's absolutely funny in that respect. Book 2 also holds strong, but again, book 3 and 4, I think there's 4, right? Yep, there are 4 right now, and 3 and 4, there's just no way to say it, aren't as amazing as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are pretty good. I would be fighting between A and S. 3 and 4 kind of lower it. Maybe to a... Oops, not you. Sorry. Yeah, 3 and 4 kind of lower it to maybe an A or a B. I mean, oh god, I think if this is a B, then I'm lowering Game of Thrones. Uh-oh. Okay, if this is a B, then Game of Thrones is C, and Eye of the World is D. Oh dear. Tell you what, for now, I'm gonna put it B, but I'm gonna put it before Game of Thrones. Tell you what, I'll do that. Oh, that's tough. I wanna bump Game down. I wanna bump Game and Eye of the World down. Ooh, Steven Erickson's Gardens of the Moon. Ah, right, Book of the Fallen. That's... Right off the bat, I'm thinking A. Right off the bat, I'm thinking A. I mean, the name alone of the main character, like Sergeant Whiskey Jack. Like that's a pretty amazing I like that one. You don't forget the name of the main character in Gardens of the Moon. It does change, right? It's a bit more of a historical telling of the world rather than just one main character. Yeah, the books kind of get cut up with different people, huh? And some of those I wasn't really... Oh god. Some of those I wasn't really interested in. But that was more of a me thing, I feel. Yeah, I think this one's going to be really up in the air for some people. Like, if you don't like the story constantly, like, changing different characters, with some new ones coming back for to say hi once in a while, I think you might not. I think you might not like it. I think it's written well, but I think for a lot of people, it's just not. It's just not gonna land. I mean, I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. Let's see what's next. Golden Compass. This one's a tough one. This is another tough one, simply because I think if I remember correctly, yeah, this one was for like those 10 years and up, right? So it's for a younger crowd, it's for a younger audience, for sure, for sure. Um, it's not bad though. It's definitely good. It's definitely good. I'm not gonna bring it to S because it just wasn't. It was entertaining, but it's not something that I would want to reread a lot. You know. So if you're younger, it's probably an S. Probably an S if you're younger, especially if you're, again, if you're just getting into reading, you want to like see what fantasy's all about. This will definitely help you get you there, definitely. This will definitely help you get there. Whereas something like Elantris, for example, might be a little bit too dark for a 10-year-old. I don't know. Might be a little bit, and you definitely want to probably stay away from Bloodsong for a bit. I think maybe again if you're young, Eragon might be an S tier for you as well. But after that, I think it drops rather sharply because you just want more out of a book, you know? Tell you what, I know it's good. I know it's good, even if it's not quite for me. I'll go ahead and give it. I'll go ahead and give it an A. I'll go ahead and give it an A. No, I lied. I'm giving it a B. I'm giving a lot of things B's right now. B is the I don't know category. Oh, Green Rider. Okay, I'm giving this one an A at the very least, maybe an S. So this is pretty unique. You got a strong female main character that was just done well. Very, very unique. It's not like, oh, she's a strong female character and she's really great with the sword and she's on the front line, you know, hacking and meh. Or she's got mysterious powers and she's a mage in the back line. It's like, woo. Or what's another trope? The assassin. They're usually that, like the warrior, the mage, or the assassin, but she's a scout, a messenger, right? And it's a pretty sizable series too, and I liked reading them. It was pretty good. Like, I didn't know where they were going next. It's like, okay, her and the horse is going back. Okay, sure. Where are we going to next? Yeah, I enjoyed Green Rider. Green Rider. There's a lot of female main characters that I think are done very, very badly, and I think this is not one of them. Again, she's a messenger that's kind of really important to the kingdom. I liked it. It was definitely a different tale. I'm about to get in trouble. Oh, I'm about to get in trouble. Harry Potter. Harry Potter I added because even though it's modern fantasy, I mean, most of it pretty much takes up place in what might as well be medieval, right? They're in a castle. There's no technology. I bent my rule on Harry Potter, especially because I can complain about it as I do. Because where did Harry Potter kind of go downhill? When they left the castle and they did try to go into like the modern world. And then you've got the classic going around in a circle in a woods and not knowing what we're doing. So I want to give it an S because Harry Potter alone, first novel's probably an S. Some of them not so much. The ending, I want to give it a B for not having the guts to do the ending that you kind of suspect she was thinking about doing. Like the ending, it's like, did she just really do that? No, I mean, nah. I'll give it a B. No, I'll give it an A. I don't get yelled at. No, screw you. I'm giving it a B. Get wrecked. I'll give it a B there, just to make people angry. I'll put it right next to George R. Martin. How about that? Tell you what, since I wouldn't actually skip any of the books in the Harry Potter series if I was rereading it, I'll put a little bit ahead of George R. R. Martin. How about that? How about that? You like that? You like where I put that? Doesn't that feel nice? Ooh, His Majesty's Dragon. This was entertaining. Another story. Guy finds dragon egg, raises dragon. Not meant to do that in any way, shape, or form. Right? Not meant to do that at all. And it takes him on a world where he's not meant to be. And like all the dragons are like, dude, your rider sucks. You really need someone better. And he's like, and it's interesting. Because a lot of the story is about the relationship between the main character and the dragon, and everyone's opinions on how they're supposed to be acting and what their opinions of each other are supposed to be. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Naomi Novik is pretty talented. Let me tell you that. Again, first one, I would give an S. I think I don't go any lower than an A for His Majesty's Dragon. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was pretty good. 7 books in that series, though. The Lies of Locke Lamora. S. 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 Absolutely S. Absolutely S tier. There's more than one book in the series. It's not... It doesn't have, like, the story of the big bad evil. It's very swashbucklery. You got, like, a thief doing thiefy things. It's not for kids, I'll tell you that straight out. There's some pretty graphic scenes. Someone gets drowned in a vat of horse piss. It's a crazy book, but it's entertaining from start to finish. Love the series. Lies of Locke Lamora, definitely S tier. Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, this is where people are going to say I'm biased. Oh, people say I'm biased here. I mean, how do you not put that S tier? How do you not? How do you not? It's like, oh, but it's not gritty and realistic enough. Yeah, and it's not meant to be. You can't judge a book by what it isn't supposed to be, right? Good story. Yeah, good story. You can't. You can't. S tier. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Why are some of these covers smaller? I get them all from the same source. Magician's Apprentice, Raymond E. Feist. Oh, this one's tough. I'm gonna probably say B right off the bat. I think my B tier is getting a little bit big, don't you think? Doesn't it feel like we need more people in C? I feel like Black Prism isn't really holding its weight. Because I'm telling you, compared to like Dark Tidings, Harry Potter, George R. R. Martin, maybe there. Because again, this is of the top fantasy. It's not that it's bad, just comparing it to its, to others of its kind in the best of the best. But yeah, Raymond E. Feist, Magician Apprentice, good old Pug. I think it's Pug, right? I think so. Yeah, this is a pretty decent tale. I'll give it a solid B. No spoilers. Written 80s, 90s, somewhere around there. But entertaining book. Name of the Wind. Oh my god, I want to give Name of the Wind an S. Name of the Wind is such an easy S until he wrote book 2. And book 2 is hard to take off. Because if you've read it, you know it needs a re-release. He said that he had a major rewrite in book 2, and I think you can find out where it was. Because it goes from here, it's going along, and then suddenly we go from here to here. And there's references to what happened in between, but you don't have any idea what that was. And it feels like there was a lot there. There should have been stuff there. It felt like it was kind of important. Or something. And it's not being there is just huge. And then we have the story of him going about randomly in the... Why is it an author tends to put a character in the woods randomly for insane amounts of time that go nowhere? I'm looking at you, Harry Potter. Why is that? Why does that happen? So that takes it off of there. Book 2 is D. Easy D tier. Not an S. I want to give it a B, but there are too many Bs. I don't know. Does it drag it all the way down? Does it drag it all the way down to a C? I can't do that. I can't do it to my boy. I can't do it to my boy. Tell you what, I'll put Name of the Wind. I'll put Name of the Wind in somewhere between these two. It's good, but book 2 drags it. Book 2 drags it. What can you say? Nevernight. Oh my god. Again, another really great series with a female main character. Nice and strong. Holy crap. She is a complete badass. You absolutely love it. The world feels unique. I think I'm giving that one an S. I think of an S. It's very gritty. Again, I wouldn't give it a thing for kids because one mode of transportation involves going through a pool of blood. Okay, it's just what happens. It's just a thing. Okay, it's just a thing. But oh my god, I'm giving it an S. I'm giving Nevernight an S. I love that series. Nightblade is not bad. I don't think it's an S. I don't think it's an A. I think it's probably a B. It's just a good, sword fighty novel series. Sorry, good old sword fighty series. It feels a little bit unique. Feels a little bit unique. Main characters trying to make their way in a very very grim world. A lot of kill or be killed kind of thing. It is fun. It is fun though. Probably up here somewhere with good old game. I'd go ahead and put it there. Path of a Novice, I put in here. And I'm putting it as an S. And here's why I'm putting it as an S. I don't usually go for short books. I don't. I don't normally do that. But book 1 is like 250 pages. And somehow it didn't feel like it was 250 pages. Like, the author, what is this, R.K. Lander? She's got a very unique world that she manages to convey in 250 pages. It's about elves. Don't get many books like that that are well written. And the main character, all the characters in 250 pages feel unique. A lot seems to happen. You wind up rooting for certain characters in that short amount of time. You're totally going with them on their journey. I loved it. This is a really great series. It's not too large. It doesn't meander. It sticks to what it's good at, and it does it pretty well. It develops the world more than you thought it was going to. The characters get surprisingly deep. It's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It sticks to what it is. And it does it pretty well. Prince of Thorns. Okay. It's a weird one. Like, the character's really, really young, but he's like, I don't know, like Robin Hood and his merry men if they killed people for looking at you funny. It's very, very odd. It's very, very odd. You got like a young guy who's just gonna kill all the things. He wants to be prince, or he wants to be king rather. Take back what he thinks is his. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Maybe an A. Maybe I'll give it an A. I guess I'm giving it an A. It's like a trilogy, I think, right? Trilogy only 3? Is that right? Let me check. Yep, looks like a trilogy. Yeah, I'll give this all an A. It's one of those things that is like, yeah, I can give it a reread. Oh, Red Sister. Another trilogy. Yeah. Another trilogy. Female main character, strong female main character. So the one thing that I really, really like about things like Red Sister and Nevernight, like the main character, she's working hard to be as good as she is. Right? She's not like, oh, I'm special and I'm just going to go out and be special because I'm special. Like, you've got a whole slew of really, really terrible books that do that because the writer's lazy or I don't know. Just like not into it. I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, Red Sister is definitely A, maybe S. That one's tough. I liked it more than Mistborn. I might switch Nevernight and Red Sister around, because I think I did enjoy Red Sister more than Nevernight. I don't know. I'm not sure they're both S. I think one of them is. I think one of them is at the very least. Ranger's Apprentice. Why is... Oh, that was recommended, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I wouldn't have put this on here, but I saw it recommended twice, so I did. Yeah, I wouldn't put this on here. Like, to me, this is just like C category at best. I mean, it's a decent tale. It's got a couple of books to it, but it's nothing special. It's nothing like these other hard hitters. Yeah, Ruins of Gorlon here I'm seeing on Amazon right now is a solid like almost 4,000 reviews, which is cool. But by the time you get to like book 4, it's just like, okay. It's a good adventure series, I guess. But I can't really tell you like, oh yeah, man, this main character was really, really cool because they're studying really, really hard to be the most bad ass assassin that you've ever seen, like in Nevernight. Or a really cool detective sort of dude, like in Alloy of Law. Or a really amazing warrior, like in Bloodsong. Or taking care of a blind freaking dragon that everybody wants to put down, like in Ascendant. You know, like all these other books, they're very, you know what you're reading, you know who you're reading. But Ruins of Gorlon, it's like, I mean, yeah, they're cool. Sabriel. For a younger audience, again, female main character, pretty decent, very different. Like, usually the magic system is like spells and whatnot. This is weirdly with bells and the underworld, or not the underworld, like whatever, and necromancy. That one's very interesting. I want to give it an A, understanding that's for a younger audience. Understanding that, I think Garth Nick Sabriel, sure. I think it earns its place as an A. Oh crap! Now I'm in trouble. Shadow and Bone, the Grishaverse. They made a Netflix show of it, so how bad can it be? That's how bad. I'm giving it a D. I'm giving it a D. There aren't many that I've given a D to. Here's why. Main character, female main character again. And again, for the record, you can see I love me a good female main character. Nevernight, Red Sister, Sabriel, Green Rider, you get the idea. This one's an idiot and lazy and I hate her. It's just true. She's like, oh, you've got special power. Okay, special power, sure. And everybody loves you because of your special power. Everybody wants a piece of you. Okay, sure. And I'm not really gonna put in a lot of effort to like using the thing and getting better with the thing that like everybody needs me to do. I'm just gonna complain and be a I didn't like her. I thought the world could have been interesting. I thought the problem with it was a little bit interesting. And I think the main character should have been fired into a cannon into the sun. Like, no. Tell you what. Get the main character from Nevernight into here, and you got yourself a story. Get the main character from Red Sister into here, you got yourself a story. Like, you got so many really good main characters. Just take her spot, please. And no. I'll never, ever reread this. Ship of Magic is tough. Ship of Magic is a tough one. It's well written. I can't get into it. First, I've never known why I can't. I can't pin down why I can't. I've tried to pin down why I can't, but I can't. I just can't get into Ship of Magic. Essentially, you have female main character, which is fine. on a ship. Ship's pretty much alive. But I just can't get into the story for some reason. It just doesn't grip me like some of the other ones do. So, yeah. Black Company is a hit or miss. Lots of stuff happening in Black Company. Oh, man. Like, if you're not a fan of military fantasy, you're not going to like Black Company. Or, you're also not going to like Gardens of the Moon, I don't think. For the record there. But yeah, this is Black Company. Is it an A? I think Black Company might be an A. Maybe a B? I'll give Black Company an A. I'll give Black Company an A. I seem to have good memories of it. Choice of Magic, that was my pick, and I'm giving it an S. Yeah, sorry. Reason why I'm giving it an S is because what it does, its magic system, pretty well thought out. Characters are well thought out. There's like kind of weird diplomacy kind of going between various races of like other planes of being or whatever. And that's interesting. Yeah, it's a start to finish. I like it. I like it. Choice of Magic is fantastic. Though I will admit now that I'm verifying what I thought about it, I can't fully say this could be accurate because I have not read book 5 yet. It apparently came out in May 29th, 2022. I have not read it yet. I did not know it was out. So yeah, I missed that alert somehow. I've only read the first 3. I have not read, no, sorry, the first 4 I have not read. I have not read the 5th. I'll be going back and doing that. Hopefully it still deserves its S. I'm not sure, but I liked it, so I've added it. Terry Pratchett, The Color of Magic. Again, it's not quite for me, but I know it's really good. I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A. It's a classic. It's a classic, and it's on almost every list that I saw. Everyone was like, this is really good. This is really good. The Book of Amber. Sorry, The Great Book of Amber. Again, really good. This one, I know that even I couldn't really get into. I'm giving it you're gonna hate me. I'm gonna give it a C. For some reason, I couldn't get into this. It was like Chip Magic all over again. It's like, I recognize it was written pretty well. I recognize it's supposed to be an interesting story. And I was just like, what about this do I not like? I don't know. Hobbit, I'm S-ing immediately because it's the Hobbit. I don't care. The Magic of Recluce is a tough one. One of the earliest ones that I've read. Giving it a D because of the series meanders all over the place. It's not bad. The author, good world. Lot of books written in this world. It seems fleshed out. The different novels cover different characters, though, which is not always the greatest. But it's entertaining. You know what? No, it's not Grisha level. It's not Grisha level. I'll put it somewhere in here. Somewhere in the Eye of the World Ascendant category. It's not bad. It's not bad. Poppy War? Oh my god, is that thing. That's dark. Okay, that deals with shamanism, which is interesting. Not a lot of series deal with magic as like shamanism and taking ingredients to unlock your power. Essentially, you know what that means. You know what that means. You ain't doing it in your right mind, completely sober, let's say. Very, very different, very, very dark. There's even torture involved in some of this. But it's well written. Like, the greater the power the main character has, the more they're destroying themselves, essentially. And the more they have to cope with the side effects of, like, these gods that they're channeling. They don't give a crap about them. It's very, very unique. It's very, very unique. I think I'm gonna give it an A. I think I'll go ahead and give that one an A. Yeah, because I reread all 3 of them. Warded Man, C, definitely C. I didn't like where it went. The first book, A. Second book, probably a B. No, sorry, first book, S. Second, A. And then the rest of the series kind of goes downhill. And it's like, I'm not sure if I like this very much. It's got demons. I like demons. Demons are fun. It was very disappointing to me. Very disappointing to me. Sorry, that's the worded man. Way of Shadows, it is what it is. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's S tier or even A tier. Maybe somewhere in the B. I'd say it's probably somewhere in the B tier. Once again, good weekend read. You have like an assassin-y kind of character doing what they do. Nothing too mind-boggling or new about it. It just is a good assassin's tale. And you get what you get. Michael J. Sullivan's Theft of Swords. Ooh, those two. Same thing with, I think that's an easy one. Yeah, same thing here. It's just like The Way of Shadows. Though maybe a little bit better than The Way of Shadows. I liked it better than this. It's probably somewhere over in here, actually, if I had to arrange them. Yeah, it's probably mid to high B tier, I'd have to say. I'd have to see. The main characters are memorable. You like them. There's no over-the-top magic or, like, insane amounts of swordplay or whatever. It's just kind of swashbuckler, going around, kind of doing jobs. Just two swordsmen kind of getting by. Throne of Glass. Oh, God. Oh, God. So, Throne of Glass. Oh, my God. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Frustrating, disappointing. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, it's obvious that the author wanted to write like a complete, over the top, really strong female main character. And some of the other books that I mentioned actually get there. Nevernight, dude, she's amazing. The Poppy War, she gets a body count. Let's just say that she gets a body count. She's breaking high scores. Red Sister, again, strong main. One thing that's the same for all of these, though, is you can really see the work and effort they put into being as good as they are. It's not like the Grisha where they're whatever because the author wants them to be. And Throne of Glass is like the same. It's the same. I'm not sure even should even be on this list, to be honest. It's like, yeah, strong main character. Why? I don't know. Authors said they were, and it's just not good. It's just not good. It felt like this was just, to be fair, maybe it's just not for me. Like, it felt like this was specifically aimed at, like, I don't know, teenage girls or something. They wanted to give like teenage girls like a strong main character, kind of devoid of realism. Yeah, to get this one, it's a clear masterpiece, but it's not like a turn your brain off and read sort of masterpiece. Like, you're not going to just be like sword and sorcering it up, and cool, done. Good guys are clearly done out on top. Go book. Like, it's again, spoiler free. There's definitely more to it than that. There's some areas where it tries to like make you think a bit, but it's well told. It's well told. Like, you remember the characters. The characterization is a lot. Yeah, I think characterization's a lot in this book. Definitely. I think it's an S. I think it's an S. Even if you don't like it per se, I think it's probably an S tier. What do we have next? Will White. Another one that I was surprised at. Because, like, I picked it up as a lark. It was another one of those very, very short novels. Like, yeah, I'll go see what this is all about, right? And in fact, it's one of the novels that you almost always avoid because it's like a cultivation novel, which if you know that word in fantasy, you know to stay away from those books because most of them are terrible. Really, really, really terrible. But something about this one, it, again, doesn't try to overshoot. It sticks to what it is. There's good character development. The characters feel the same. Not the same, sorry. The characters don't feel the same. They feel unique. And you're wondering where they're going to go next. In the back of it, it's also science fiction-y because you realize there's stuff going on, not just on the planet, but in the galaxy as in general is involved, and there's like things going on, and the entire world might be destroyed by things way out over there, and how that's going to relate to what's going on here is all weird. I mean, there's a lot going on for such a short novel, but it turns into a long series. I'm not sure if I would give it an S. I think it is probably definitely a solid A. It's hard to give any series that spans that many books an S, because there's always going to be some parts where you're like, yeah, I'm not sure if I really like this part of it. Or like, yeah, maybe that part could have done a bit differently, you know? But then again, I mean, I couldn't write something like that, so who am I to say? I will give it a solid A. That being an S, I would not, I could understand. I could understand easily that being an S if in your mind. Leaves us to the Way of Kings. We're getting close to the end here. Way of Kings, oh my god, I want to say the Way of Kings is a solid S. You'll notice it's another Brandon Sanderson novel. I want to say it's a solid S. I want to say hands down, solid S, done, and then we're out. And if it's just the Way of Kings, I would say that. Book 1, I'll give it an S. Book 2, I give it an A. Book 3, what happened with Book 3? Why is there a like 300-page, I might be exaggerating, novella in Book 3 that doesn't need to be there? Why is it boring? And why is Book 4 not much better? What happened between Book 1 and 2 and 3 and 4? Can you explain that to me? Because yeah, Book 1 alone, I'll give it an S and be done with it. Book 3 and 4? Maybe I would honestly give Book 3 a D. I might give Book 4 a C. And Book 2 an A. Like, do I put it here? Next to Martin? Like, I wouldn't skip the book, but you could skip hundreds of pages. I mean, there's no way around it. Book 3 and 4, there's hundreds of pages that you can just be like, nope, rip. Don't need those. What happened? What happened? This is an S-tier author. This is an S-tier. What are you doing? Why? What happened? What happened? What happened? I want to know. I want to know. Why am I tempted to put here in B and not in S where you should be? I don't know. I don't know, and I hate that I don't know, and I hope you get better. One of my favorite series of all time, except for Book 3 and Book 4. 4 is, okay, 3, no. So sad, so sad. And Terry Goodkin, this one appeared on a lot of lists too, Wizard's First Rule. I mean, maybe Book 1 is an A or a B, but yeah, you're going to go with the Ds. And the reason why you're going to go with the Ds is because after like the first 2 books, the rest of the series gets bad and it gets preachy and it's just doesn't know where it's trying to go. It picks up a little bit, I remember. It picks up a little bit with like some of the later books, but Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I don't know what happened to this series, but whatever happened to this series, don't go there ever again. If you're a writer, like read this and be like, okay, this happened here. It's like, and this happened here, which is it's kind of okay. And then this and this and this. No, don't get preachy. Don't go on like huge expositional dumps. Just, I don't know. I don't know where you were trying to go. You don't know where you were trying to go. We all got lost while we were trying to get there, and that was not a good time. Not a good time at all. Sorry, Wizard's First Rule. I've read you a lot. I've reread you a lot, but dang, did your series go downhill. Most of them. Some of them I would actually put in the worst books of all time, which will probably be my next tier list. The worst fantasy novels that you'd ever set your pretty little eyes on. If you're interested in that, make sure you follow the channel, because that will be out eventually, because I've been reading for a very long time. And oh, are there a bunch of stinkers that I can't wait to make a list out of. Either way, let me know down below what you thought about this list. Did you rate things higher, lower? Do you agree with where I put things? Interested to hear what you have to say. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe picked up a couple of recommendations for maybe your next weekend read. And as always, I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.